Good evening. Back tonight. I realized when I was setting up my schedule last week that I had not actually finished this tier list that I started time ago. It's 2 weeks ago. So I resolved to finish it this week. Okay, this might be a little loud. Let's see. It's summer and that means for the outside. Actually, I can shut that. I'll be right back. I have a, well, one of my pets tends to come into demand access to a specific window, a favored window. And if he's up there, he demands it must be open. So I had to adjust that. It's so loud during the day. But let me just this real quick. Okay, so it is showing the correct album. In this case, it's the show that the song is from. So it's good to know. Working as intended. Let's see. There's so many things open. For this, I had to dig through a few files to find what I was looking for. And I found quite a bit that I'd forgotten about. For instance, for Hidamari's sketch, I found... well, I knew that I had a bunch of... Wow, why is this upside down? I guess I'll find out in a bit. I know I have a number of figures for them, but I did not quite realize how few photos I guess I took of them. But I did take a few. So, let me do this real quick. Will this still be upside? Yes, it's still upside down. Okay, we can quickly rotate this. Not good for you guys to see it when it's upside down. Let's see, transform. Flip horizontal? No, flip horizontal. Flip vertical. Flip vertical. Okay. So, one of my favorites. And I have... Technically, I guess all the figures that are out for them, as far as I know. All the Figmas, I should say. I have two Venendoroids as well. I have them for Yuno and Miyako. But... I have all four girls. Technically, two of them are the same in that they have the same... The only difference is their heads. For the seniors and the freshmen, they share bodies. If I wanted to have all 6 of them out, I'd have to buy 2 more copies of these two. And I try not to buy duplicates. I do have some duplicates of other figures, but not of these. Another shame here is that I don't think they came with the hands that they are using right here. These are special hand-holding hand parts, and I think that those came with my Strike Witches Figmas. But they've been very useful for other dioramas as well. Not that this is really a diorama. This is more of a display piece. I have a glass cabinet that I tend to keep them in. I haven't set it up since I've moved, though. But yes, my favorite girls, and you can see in the background some of the other figures I also kept in there. I try and swap them out seasonally. So, for instance, the Bakemono figures would be more of a May sort of thing. And the girls here, Hinamari Sketch Girls, are actually wearing their winter outfits, so that's like a later seasonal thing. Still my cough from last week. It has not quite been getting better yet. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick this. Actually, I wonder if I can crop it a little bit. Probably can't. I'm just gonna stick it over here. Just stick it over there. Okay, for girls. Granted, I think about it, I have 3 or 4 different sets of Figma girls. As I said, I have the Hinamari Sketch Girls. I also have the... I don't know if I can call it all the Bakemono characters, but it is a number of the Bakemono characters. For instance, I don't have the Fig Fix for Shinobu. And they may have come out with alternate, or rather more upgraded versions of them that I don't have. These are older figure sets. Let's see. And this is an idea of the collection altogether. The photos are rather old, so they're also kind of crunchy. But I would also split where my displays were. In this case, this is all the girls, and then Koyomi in the back. But I don't, again, remember if necessarily they all came with these pointing figures, or if I had to mix and match with other figures in order to get this scenario. They all had something akin to an angry face, though, or upset face, which was rather nice. Yeah, pointing fingers may again have just been something I took from Strike Witches. At least partially. Someone wants back in. I'm gonna be right back again. He's never happy. He is never happy. I don't know what he wants. Let's see. And now he wants out. I can never win. It comes to new series though. Let's see. Chobits, Chobits, Chobits. Chobits. I think that for the time it wasn't bad. I think looking back on it, it's a little worrisome. It was kind of sweet in some instances. I'll put it in C for now, I think. I still remember how I was able to watch it. A friend had the DVDs. No, she didn't even have the DVDs. I should restate this. She had rips of it. Probably Phantops, and we traded CDs. Like, we burned CDs back in the day to trade at school when it came out. So it's like the crunchiest, not, well, I shouldn't say the crunchiest. I've definitely seen crunchier things coming out of it, but probably 360i? Was that even a thing, or was it just 480i? 480i forms. I think we could fit maybe 3 episodes on a disc, which falls about in line with what was available commercially at the time. Maybe not technically. Maybe they just did it to match what people expected of VHSs. Because back in the day... I say this back in the day. I'm sure there are other people who may remember it a little differently, even further back, but if you wanted something... Oh, the headpad's not gonna work properly, because I have CD mode set up. Okay. Ah, too big for the headpad. Okay, there we go. I'm too big for the headpad, but it should be fixed now. So we had VHSs, right? Except you would have to be, for every set of 3 episodes or so, you'd have to make a choice, sub or dub. Only one audio track available on a VHS after all. There was Right Stuf back in the day, so you could order it if you wanted to, but otherwise you might just be stuck with whatever the local store sold. In my case, it was something called a Suncoast. And sometimes you didn't really have much of a choice as to what came out. So I definitely had some series of VHSs that were mixed. Oh, right. So you got your 3 episodes that were dubbed because that was the only way it came. It was $30 a VHS. One or the other was released, not both. It depended on the series. ADV was very good about releasing both options. I did actually have the choice there. And I think I usually opted... Oh, a lot of the ones I had were dubbed, but not all of them. So I have fond memories of what other people may consider trash when it comes to dub voices. But yeah, $30 a DVD, or not DVD, VHS, for one audio track. And the pattern when DVDs became more popular was what, 3 to 4 episodes of DVD, but at least you had the choice between sub or dub. VHS is nostalgic. Yeah, every now and then I do go back actually and look at the old ADV, demo reel is not the right word for it, ads that came before things. I have never seen some of these shows, but I did end up picking them up some of them I picked up much later because of how good I thought they would be based on the sort of, I guess, music video that they made for the promos. And I'm grateful that there are some people who put out the trailers on YouTube for the ADV properties. If I look up ADV trailers, it is not good. I guess, let's see, ADV anime trailers is probably more likely. Although, the VHSs were also a little rough, too, because I distinctly remember once purchasing a VHS that was supposed to be a Sorcerer Hunters, not AMV, Sorcerer Hunters VHS. And the label on the inside of the VHS too, like physically printed on the tape, was Sorcerer Hunters. Pop it in to play it. Okay, great. Ads. Okay, this is a really long ad for a Slayers movie. This is a really long ad for a Slayers movie. When is this gonna end? It was a misprint. I shouldn't say I've never had that happen with a DVD. I have had one instance where, well, I've heard of one instance where a DVD was misprinted in terms of they put 2 of the same DVD in one set, but literally getting the wrong product on the tape, not so much. I don't know if it was somehow a one-off or it was a mass-produced issue, but I did get a replacement, thankfully. That was correct. I kind of wish I'd kept the old tape, though, because all I have left really are the fuzzy memories of having to be inside the store trying to get... trying not to turn red as they played the Sorcerer Hunters video, the VHS, on like half the TVs in the store because they wanted to make sure before they gave it to me that it was the correct correct content that time. Gunsmith Cats on VHS is your anime? You wore out the tape? How many times did you watch it? You'd have to watch it a lot to get to that point, wouldn't you? And was Gunsmith Cats an OVA? Like, or was it a longer series? It wasn't one of the ones that I watched, so I'm not 100% certain. Although I do know someone who was very fond of, I think, Riding Bean, which is set in the same universe, right? Oh, so it was an OVA. Okay. And yeah. Well, that was Animego. Okay, that would explain it, perhaps. I think that the company, the video store I went to focused on Geneon and ADV films. I don't know if they had too much of Animego stuff. Let's see. That was a good ADV trailer. When you were 7, you were watching Gunsmith Cats? I guess it doesn't, from what I've heard, it doesn't have too much material that wouldn't be, I don't want to say unfamiliar to Americans, but like, it's set in America and guns aren't a problem for like American kids, right? So sure, why not? Was it dubbed? Or were you reading it at 7, like the subs? So I would imagine that would have a big effect. Let's see. Samurai X, Gilgamesh, Blue Seed, Gauntz, Razafon, TTS Airbats, Slayer's Great, Chevalier Down. That's right, ADV existed for a good half of the 2000s. I sort of forgot. I remember that there was a big issue with them switching over, and it was kind of funny when ADV became Section 23 because of what Section 23 stood for. Okay. Ushio and Tora, maybe. Actually, no. Let's see if there's anything actually in this list that might have had a good ADV trailer back in the day. Dubbed. Speaking of dubs, there's Trinity Blood. I started rewatching this recently because I have to admit, I never actually finished it. I watched what was available on TV. It aired on, what, Adult Swim, was it? It had to have been Adult Swim and not Cartoon Network. Exactly. The relationship between those networks was always a bit wonky. But yeah, I caught what was available on TV, so I've seen smatterings of it. I never really make the time to sit down to watch 52-episode series, which is probably going to be a theme you're going to be seeing through here. A lot of the longer ones are going to be the ones that I haven't finished. I mean, there are exceptions for other things. Yeah, the longer it is, the more difficult I find it. Their outfits were really nice in Trinity Blood, though. I do remember seeing someone who was doing a cosplay of, I think it was the young vampire in green. It was quite the achievement at the time with such a huge hat. At least, I think it was a vampire in green. It was Trinity Blood. I want to say, like, Green Pope, but she's not a pope at all, because there's only one pope. Seth Nightroad. That was a female character, right? Despite the name? Okay, Empress. The Empress of Vampires. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I never quite got the meta plot of it while I was watching until I got to sit down and watch the first, I think. Maybe, definitely watch the first 13. I may have gotten a bit farther before I stopped the second time. This one here. We Were There. It looks very generic rom-com, and that's because it was a super generic rom-com. looking back, no one's going to remember this one. It was, I can't even say it was like cute at the time. It sure was shoujo fodder. Even the name is just kind of, yep, it was there. I guess the one interesting thing it dealt with was, I think, I want to say like abuse in relationships. Not necessarily between the main couple, but between the male character, I believe his ex, who was kind of a... the kind of girl who... I think she threatened to kill herself a few times during the course of their relationship. And so the boy in this character in this story had issues with that sort of thing. I like how Talent for Love is playing in the background for this. For Tenchi. It was nice when they actually did dubs for songs. I suppose that doesn't happen very often nowadays. Although, thinking about some of the things that Funimation put out, maybe it's for the best when they had their voice actors simply singing for it. There are some voice actors who are good at singing. Just not all of them. I don't think I know who sings this one. Let me check real quick. I did a whole bunch of research on trying to figure out who sung a bunch of the songs that were not strictly labeled appropriately. I think this was Sharon Scott. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, that's probably not the right one. Oh, okay, no, she is marked online as having done this. But, yeah. I guess when they thought they really had to translate everything possible. I never watched a whole lot of Black Butler. I watched a few episodes of it. Not even when it aired. As far as I know, it didn't air on TV except on the Funimation channel. That's the only time I caught any of it. So it never grabbed me. I don't... Didn't really follow it. And neither did I watch Fate Stay Night, actually. I haven't seen the original Fate Stay Night. I've seen bits and pieces of, I believe, Unlimited Blade Works. And I've played FGO. And I've read a bit on it as well. A lot of it to get background on characters for FGO. And I have some merch from the series as well, including, let me get the photo up. When Fate Zero was released, they had a lot of promo materials for it. Let me grab it up. This will work. But yeah, they had a ton of promo materials. See how big this is going to be. This is going to be like huge, isn't it? Yeah. Can I rotate this just a little bit? 90 degrees counterclockwise. So yeah, they liked plastering the Fate Zero saber on a whole bunch of stuff. So I have the Figma, I have the paper fan, they had towels for her, and a number of things. I still have the fan at least. And it works well enough. Fans were actually very popular, I think, in magazines for freebies, actually. So I actually have like this one, as well as ones for, let me check real quick. I have Nichijou fan number 1, Nichijou fan number 2, and Nichijou fan number 3. All still in the original boxes. The only one I think I've really opened has been Fate Zero. The other one should be in very good condition. This one, kind of slightly used, lightly used, gently used. It's a little sad about the Fate Zero Figma, though, for Saber. I never actually got her motorcycle either, but she came with these, like, tiny little bracelets on her. It was... It was only fate that I would lose one of them. I could never find it again. But she looked fairly cool with her, her Excalibur. But yeah, they love... Oh, actually, didn't they make a figure for her too? I think they did. It was there was a swimsuit series, not like Pop-Up Parade. Let me check real quick. I forgot about the swimsuit series. Swimsuit figure Saber Zero. Yeah, what was that line called? It was the Beach Queens line. Okay, right. I wonder if that's still going on. Are they still making or is Good Smile still making Beach Queens? Let's find out real quick. Fine. Or should I just look up Beach Queen instead of Beach Queens? Probably. This might be something I have to put up for my figure collection. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Everything I'm finding is for other things. Not under, like, Beach Queen. It's like eBay. Are they... Yeah, I guess they're no longer being made. Oh, is it Wave, actually, that put them out? That was probably a better search. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens when I bring this up instead. Okay, yeah, they had a whole line. They might still exist. And she was on here. Aha, yeah, so they have her. Okay, it looks a little better now. Yeah, holding her water bottle. So, I want to say cheap figures, but kind of on the cheaper side. How much they go for now? Let's see. I guess they... Okay. So since this is a Zero version, they also have other versions. For other Sabers. Oh, right, and this one too. They made a doll out of this outfit, actually, for Volks. So this is the Fate Hollow. Real quick. Fate Hollow. Swimsuit. Volks. She's a DD, I think? Fate Hollow Saber. Actually, it's probably just Fate Alter. Okay, yeah, so they made the doll with the swimsuit, too. Along with a bunch of other outfits, but this is one of the bigger, I don't want to say she was one of the bigger dolls, but she was an early doll that got popular in the West for Volks. For the anime-style dolls. Mostly because she was a reprint-ish of a different Saber doll that already came out. And she was kind of the first opportunity to have one of the Sabers. I don't know if they have any older photos of the older Sabers, because like it feels a little weird to show like this one, because I'm pretty certain this is this is a new Saber, so she looks a little different from the older ones. Let's see. Okay, back to Tyr. So yeah, I never, despite knowing a decent amount about the Sabers and Fate Stay in general, I haven't actually watched the anime. Let's just delete this real quick off the list. Eureka 7. I'm probably saying that wrong. I watched the dub because it was on Toonami, Adult Swim, whatever the equivalent was. It was fine. I watched it in bits and bobs. It wasn't a favorite. It was okay. I feel like I saw a lot of repeat episodes. I know it was very popular at the time when it came out. And it got, what, movies as well, and then the second show, but it's another 52 episode series. I don't really... Oh, the fan is still here. Yeah, Eureka 7. 52 episodes, not really for me. Also, giant robots, also not quite so much for me. Like, it takes more to get through with a giant robot series than anything else. So, like, there's a whole thing about if it has cats, it gets brought up a little bit in terms of the rating. If it has robots, it tends to go down a rating. I think that probably says a lot, actually. Here, there's gonna probably be... Is there gonna be anything in S that's going to have robots? I don't know. A is gonna be the highest, I guess, and that's if you kind of count Sylvia as a robot show, which it didn't really feel like one. Otherwise, I guess the highest would be a B. And then I guess the question is, like, what's gonna be the lowest one that has a strong focus on cats? Or even, I don't want to say a nameable cat, because that may not be possible for some of them, but something with a known cat. Mayashimon. I actually really, really, really liked Mayashimon. Let me grab up the photo for that as well. So... It was really interesting at the time when it came out, because it wasn't focused on high schoolers for once. It was focused on college kids. And not just that, it pretty much has someone drop out of college-ish, or like go on hiatus from college. I think it was ahead of its time in some of the themes that it dealt with as well. And it was focused on science, but it wasn't overwhelming in what it did. I think that it did eventually... Has it actually ever gotten a dub? Like a proper one? Not dub. Did it ever get licensed? Let me check. Because I watched it when it was coming out. I'm pretty certain that the actual manga got a release much, much, much later in English, at least the first volume. I swear I owned it, but I don't know where it went. Oh, Crunchyroll has. I know Crunchyroll got the second series when it came out, because that was a big... I remember it distinctly when it came out. I remember baking specifically so I could sit down and watch it when it aired. Well, I mean, that same very night that it aired, not, you know, waiting for it to pop up on Crunchyroll exactly. So, Crunchyroll eventually got it, but when it comes to the manga... Del Rey got it. Okay. And they probably only picked up the first one or two, and then they dropped it when it didn't sell quite as much as they had hoped. But... let's see. How big is this image going to be? Oh, it's gonna be tiny! Oh. He's real cute, though. So, I was in a import store, and they had these cute little guys for sale. They had a couple different, a couple of the different critters from the show available, and so I picked up the star. And he's not very big, like all the way is, as you can see in the head. But still, very cute, very plush, very comfy. Super cute. Under. It was also, well, I mean, I said it was scientific based. It was educational as well. I'm sure you could use some of the things that you learned from the series, because it's all about bacteria and how it how it ferments things. They had sections on basically cheaper ways of getting around it. Because they had two characters who were constantly trying to make quick money by creating something from nothing, pretty much. So there was a whole plotline about fermenting basic, like, sake using women's... Well, it didn't have to be women. In this case, who knows what it was. Using human spit. So, supposedly, I guess there's... maybe not sake, an alcohol that is made from, I guess, people chewing the rice first and then spitting it out and letting it ferment, like from the natural enzymes in the mouth and other materials. And in this case, they tried to do it with an idol. They, quote-unquote, acquired some from a specific idol. Whether or not it was real, who knows? And then auctioning that off for extra cash. Lots of extra cash. I guess another cool thing actually about Mayashimon was the sheer difference in the character designs. Okay. As you can kind of see here. Okay, that's really crunchy. Wow. I guess this is probably a good way of showing it. Actually making characters that look different. These are all three main characters. I'd probably peg them at similar levels of importance to the main story. Yeah. Pictures in the way? Oh, it is. Okay, I'm gonna hide in then. Sorry, or is I? But yeah. It wasn't a bad look into college life, I guess, at the time. Likely. I think I also actually had a PhD student too. Escapism. Move off of Mayashimon now. This one up next is probably hard to see. It's not easy to get a photo of it because it's not actually released. It's not released in any sort of home media. It is the day I caught a star. Hoshio Katahi, I think is how you read it. Hoshio Katahi. It is a Studio Ghibli movie. It was one of the shorts that they released for use in the Ghibli Museum. And as such, I watched it, and I can only say what I know about it without subtitles, without actually like really knowing Japanese. I think it was still very good despite not knowing that. It didn't force me to know it. I'm glad I saw that one when I went to the museum. They do apparently switch them out every month, what's available, that I only had one chance to go to the theater. The tickets are actually rather cheap. You just have to be able to acquire the tickets in time. They get sold in, maybe not batches, but I think like every month, a certain day of the month, they go on sale. But the tickets are actually really cute. Let's see about this. How does this look? It's probably going to need to be rotated. Yep, rotation. Let's flip this 90 degrees. So yeah, the tickets for the museum actually are applicable everything. They are film strips with different sections of Ghibli films on them. So this one is what, Ponyo, I think? Let me double check real quick. I don't have it on my desk anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's Ponyo. And on the other side, they actually stamp the top part where the blue is to denote that you've seen your movie for your visit. I think you're only allowed to see the movie once per visit. But yeah, every ticket has a different strip of film on it. You are able to buy other strips as well, but not in the ticket format, so it's a bit of a grab bag. You don't get to choose what film the strips are from in the extra purchases. But Ponyo kind of fits for this one, I thought, because Ponyo was a 2000s movie from Ghibli. Not all the strips that I have fit that category. I think I had Howl's Moving Castle as one of them. There was another strip that was Pompoko. And I think maybe another one that was Porco Rosso, but Porco Rosso and Pompoko are not 2000s. But still, I have a ton of merch from the Ghibli Museum. It's just most of it is not specific to the 2000s, so I didn't grab the photos for it. But this one was, and it relates to the movie. As the entrance ticket. It's kind of a shame that there's no subtitles available for the movie, but at the same time I can understand that it would probably distract from the actual... what's the phrase? It would distract from the kids, I think, watching it a little bit, seeing the subtitles, and really, it's... I don't want to say it's a museum aimed at children, but it's... I think that's most of the intention. Although I do remember walking through the tour of Miyazaki's office, and like they had a recreation of it, or they had photos of it, and just the sheer amount of like stubbed out cigarettes, and I think there were bottles of brandy too. He's a hard worker, and well, the brandy's kind of, is that work or is it play? Water on my mouse. I also picked up the book for it. A book on, I think, the museum. But again, it's only available in Japanese, and I can't read Japanese. Maybe there's a translation available somewhere, but I haven't seen it. Actually, the art for Hoshino, well, The Day I Bought a Star, you can't really see here, but the main character very much looks like Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, but like young boy version. The Day I Caught a Star. Or is it The Day I Found a Star? Let me double check real quick. No, it's supposed to be The Day I Caught a Star, I think. But there may not be very many photos. Okay. So yeah, it looks very, kind of young Howl. But I guess in that case it's like a little bit of, I don't want to say generic Ghibli face, but a little bit. He's got a style. Kasaraki's trailer is a perfect example of the old music videos to draw people in. Series is decent, but nowhere near as good as the trailer made it seem. For a second I thought you said Gantz and not Gazaraki. I never actually saw the Gazaraki trailer. Was that an ADV one? For some reason I thought it would be a Geneon property instead. And all I really know about Gazaraki is, I think this song and maybe the other song. Let me just double check real quick. Gazaraki. Whoa! That was my bad. Let's see. Gazaraki. Okay, yeah, there's this and Love Song. ADV and Rescue by Nozomi. That makes sense when Nozomi was doing that big rescue license push. People were so hoping for theirs to be picked up. But yeah, I never watched it. I don't even know if I have it on this list. Though I'm sure it was in 2000's show, wasn't it? Like, it was definitely not any later. Let's see. are Martian Awakens Romance. This, I think, was actually on Cartoon Network when it came out, and I never really watched it. I think I watched maybe the first episode or two, and that was it. Was it was not generic shonen at the time, but it sure is shonen show, and I was kind of beyond that at that age. Let's see, what else is there? I have it on here though, mostly because it was something that was on TV that people might remember very faintly. Maybe it was something they saw when they were like 5. Oh god, how old do you have to be? Let's see. I kind of don't want to do the math. Okay. Okay, let's say it came out in 2009. 13. Maybe 13 now. You're born when that happened. So like, I guess if you're 18 or so and you remember watching it on TV in English when you were 6 or 7, going based on the Guns and Cats example here, it's entirely possible. I mean, I was watching Pokemon when I was 7. Actually, no, I wasn't 7 when that happened. I was older. But there weren't too many other choices really for me on TV at that age. I'm not going to say they didn't exist, it was just a bit harder to see and or not really meant for my audience at the time. Like, what, Sci-Fi probably had some stuff back then? Bleach. I actually remember starting to watch Bleach when I think it was about a year into airing. Assuming that it was actually kept up at a pace of one episode a week. Because for episode 52 or so was when it marked the end of the, I want to say the first arc, but the twist of the arc, wasn't it? At this point, it feels kind of like, I don't know where to put this, because I really, really like the first 52 episodes or so, but once you got to the bounce arc, it just went downhill and I dropped it after that. So like, the first section, I'd put it like B or A. Everything after that, not so much. So I'm gonna put it in like D for now. That was the flip point, right? With Aizen? Because that was a big, well, I don't say it was a big deal at the time, but I didn't follow the manga at the time. It was just the anime. Bleach. Bleach, Bleach, Bleach. Okay, yeah, so episode 63, which was the end of the 3rd season, is when Bleach got kind of, well, it was fine up till that point with that flip, I think. After that, with the bounce arc, it was not really worth it. Like, the bounce arc was okay, but I stopped after that. I think by the time it got to that point, I started just reading the manga. Because the manga at that point, I think, was up to... what was her name with the green hair? Nell? Mel? And I've heard bits and pieces from other friends who still were watching it at that point. They seemed to really enjoy it, but they also had a lot more interest in, I guess, the OCs. Heavily so. And also creating OCs based on the entire concepts that were introduced only in the anime. Or at least at the time, I guess, only in the anime. The whole thing about the swords having their own images and stuff, as well as their own voices. So basically, what was it? So there's Zangetsu, who was the representation-ish of Ichigo's sword, sort of. So they repeated that concept over all the other swords. And that was, what, at least one entire arc of the anime as a filler. Anime-only contents. It is quite nice now that, for a lot of it, they decide to stop. Instead of creating filler to keep it running, they stop this show and then just pick it back up when there's enough buffer space. I feel like Bleach is the one of the reasons why they stopped doing that. At least the music was really good for the first section. Couple sections. The visuals were good too. Too bad about the rest. Okay, Bobobo. I feel like Bobobo, it doesn't look good. I still have no idea why Bobobo. I am going to put that under unfinished. All I saw was what was on TV, and it feels like one of those shows that got picked up because it had to get picked up. I bet. There was that whole kerfuffle about if you want this good license, you have to pick up these like 4 other licenses as well and put them out. It feels like Bobo may have been one of those. I can't guarantee that, but it feels like it. And maybe they thought that they really could create something out of it. I don't know how well it did in ratings, though, even on TV. I feel like since it actually aired, though, it must have done well. It's just kind of hard to imagine with the focus on a guy with magic nose hair. I guess, you know, it's a Shonen Jump property. It has to be good, right? Play Bobobo. I like it. Bobobo. Bobobo. Oh. Right. Yep. I guess this was another case of I was too old for it at the time it came out. Angel Sanctuary, though. That was fairly fun. I say fun. It's not fun exactly. It was pure angst, dripping angst. It's a love story-ish between a boy and a girl who happen to be siblings. It had good music. I say good. I should probably put a little star on there. They tried their best in English. The manga was pretty good too. I feel like well, this is back from when they would try to make an OVA out of a lot of different shows, even though it was a bit longer. This could have probably been a 12 or 13 episode series, but maybe they didn't want to touch it as a TV series because of the whole main thing being a love story between a guy and his sister. Like, actually blood related. Although the whole back theme of it is that he's actually a reincarnated angel. And I believe so is she. Let me just double check. It's been a long time for Angel Sanctuary. And either they were both like half of the same angel. Let's see. Yeah, I think they may have been both half of the same angel, and that's why they were attracted to each other, or something like that. And when I say angel, I mean a fallen angel. Organic Angel Alexiel. Yeah, she was a fallen angel. Or were they simply reincarnations, each of different angels who happened to be in love before all this? It was something like that. It was a forbidden love story. And they actually stuck with it. They actually stuck with it. There was no, like, stupid twist of, no, it's okay, because they may have been raised together, but But they're not actually blood siblings now. No, they were always blood siblings in this incarnation. Go down with the ship. I think Karian was kind of popular at the time when it was released. It's a story about a girl who's a girl who is a vampire. Is a vampire, I should say. She comes from an entire family of vampires. But she is actually more of a reverse vampire. She's the only one in her family like this. I think she had to give blood to people. Like, she produces too much or something. So she's constantly suffering, like, nosebleeds and stuff, too. And lots of blushing because of that, I suppose. And I believe the boy is supposed to be anemic or something, and that's ends up being, like, kind of the basis of the relationship. She ends up giving him a lot of blood. It was supposed to be a cute... I don't want to say... cute romance story between the two. I never actually really watched it. I've only know the ending song very well, and I've seen the first 4 episodes, but did not grab me. But I knew other people who were very fond of the series. The ending song is really cute. It's... let's see. Let me toss it up instead of Little Non. One More Birthday, or Mohitot's No Birthday. I will respect your look. But yes, I really like this song, I think, out of the best, out of Karian. Like, if there's one thing I'm taking with me, it's this. Yep. Friend's Lost Property. I tried to watch it. I could not get very far. I vaguely recall, I think the first episode I ended up dropping because the main character's voice, the male character, was way too grating. And then I heard that there was another episode that was supposed to be very funny. I guess it was, but it was not quite enough to make me continue on. I think that was the one with the, flying panty scene? It was very, I want to say touching. It was very well animated, very well done, just not quite enough to get over his voice. And also the main character's, completely ditzy face. I'm not a huge fan of that. Of the, super brain-dead heroine type. Not my thing. Let's see. So, I never finished it. If I finished it, maybe it would have a really bad score, I think. I think I still have the DVDs for it, though, somewhere. Unless, I may have actually given them to a relative of mine. I got a huge batch of I don't want to say older DVDs, but a selection of, proper, legit DVDs. And by legit, I mean review DVDs. Legal review DVDs. And after a while, I passed them on to my nephew, since he also likes anime. Let's see. Maybe a mistake to give I don't want to say a young boy, a teenage boy, that much, that. But what else am I going to do? He was already going to be watching that anyway, wasn't he? Never finished Code Geass. Never finished that one either. There's gonna be a huge list and I haven't finished. I watched snippets of it on TV, but it was not something I specifically set aside time for. So, people still talk about it, right? A little bit? There've been, isn't there a new one coming out soon or something? For Code Geass? That's how it's pronounced, right? Oh, hello, Abigail. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We're talking about anime. You were talking with Cordy, weren't you? You were having, John? How did that go? Did I spell? Oh, I did the command wrong. I did the command backwards. Talking about brain-dead heroines. Hello, Schnitzel. Please don't mind my cough. I'm still getting over a little something. But I was just talking about, well, I'm going through a tier list of 2000s anime right now. And I've made it through this many out of 100 and something, I think. And I've been putting a lot of them into the unfinished category right now. Hello, Conrad. Yeah, lots of things in unfinished. So your chat went well with Cordy? Actually, it's pretty late, isn't it? For Cordy? Actually, I guess it wouldn't be super late. I'll have to check out the VOD later. Oh. My co-host is awake. I don't know if you can hear him from that distance. And he has his own opinions on the things I haven't finished. Cookcast, right. Great on YouTube. I think it got a new series. Or a new announcement. Let me just double check. Okay. Cookcast. There's a huge thing about the ending, right? And it being so final at the time. But if it has a new series coming out, does it really affect a whole lot? Let's see. Let us see. Oh, this is on the more recent one. 3-part compilation film. Right, okay. 2019. December 2020, they have a 10-year plan for Kogas Z of the Recapture. So yeah, I suppose there is something new coming out for it. They're revitalizing it. I wonder if there's still gonna be Pizza Hut tie-ins. Have the Pizza Hut tie-ins died out in anime? I don't... I mean, I've seen certainly like other fast food chains kind of twisted in it, but only seen a few where they had like proper tie-ins. I remember being very sad once when something else came out. And it actually had a promo that was available in America, and I wasn't able to get it because it was too far for me to travel at the time. Thank you for the head pat. They swapped out for Cup Noodle and Taco Bell. Really? Is Taco Bell that popular in Japan right now? I wonder if I actually have a photo. I think I do have a photo of... Does this count? It kind of counts. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Like, one Pizza Hut promo I really remember. The other one I missed out was a Naruko-san promo with Ichiban Curry. It was a clear folder. And kind of looking back on it, it's kind of a... I have, like, dozens of clear folders I don't use. I don't need clear folders. I don't need these, like, pencil boards. Why do I have so many? I shouldn't be worried about it. And yet, there I was hankering for another pencil board. I wonder if I can still find that. Okay. Nyarko. Ichiban Curry? No. Go-Go Curry. It was Go-Go Curry. Promo. This is gonna be right. Yeah, okay. It was a promo, I think, with this kind of style to it. Nyarko, maybe. Yeah, I think it was just a promo that looked like this. So sad. I was going to travel for it and everything, but it was too much. Go-Go is good. It's just, it's not worth spending like 50 bucks just to get there, is it? I can make my own curry. Like, sure, the pork is kind of annoying, but I can do it. So at best, I only get it like maybe once a year, depending on when I'm already in the area. But there was another one that had Ikuyo. Pizza Hut. Whenever I think Pizza Hut in anime, I think of this promo. That's it. It's too bad this series... Oh god, there's an Attack on Titan one too. If I ever do one for like 2010s, this will be Ikuyo is gonna be like in the SS category. I don't think anyone else would ever put it there, but it is to me. It is in my heart. A very good show. I can't believe they actually put this out though too. Pizza Hut, please. Pizza Hut, please. Okay, this isn't an anime song. I'm gonna skip it then. This is part of a don't know I have it in here. If it's marked as anime, it should be in games. I want to edit. Yeah, I do want to edit for multiple things. I'm just gonna game. It's game, not anime. Skip ahead. Oh, okay. I'm gonna lower this a little bit more if I can. Okay. Did Domino's Hatsune Miku tie-in? I'm gonna have to look this one up because I don't know what you're talking about. Domino's Hatsune Miku promo. What promo are you talking about? Unless it's like this? Okay, YouTube video, huh? Let me... Which one should I be looking for? I'm gonna stop this. Okay. Is it the first one, like the Domino's app? The mission to save? This one? Yum Yum Pizza Miku? I'm gonna put this one on. I know it's from Reddit. Oh, okay, we got a link. Let me grab this. It's an ad. I haven't been doing my ad reps. Skip ad.
Hello everyone,
Okay.
I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku?
What?
Today I'd like to announce a new
The American
collaborative
one?
project.
Oh, his tie is kind of Miku colored. Not quite
Domino's
though.
app featuring
Like someone told him he had to
Hatsune
wear a blue tie, but they didn't tell him
Miku.
he had to be
Hatsune
like
Miku
Tiffany
exists
blue.
in a software called Vocaloid. Vocaloid enables you to produce songs. A character named Hatsune Miku sings the songs you create. A
Yeah.
great feature is you can create songs as you like. I knew our talented Domino's
Yep.
Pizza crew could work
He
together and
doesn't know what
create
he's talking
great
about.
Vocaloid songs.
The spacing.
Eshi, Chokyoshi,
Wow, he's Japanese.
Furisukeshi. Everyone. Amazing Vocaloid songs have been created with the fantastic imagination of the crews from all over Japan. The
He's
challenge was
reading from a
successfully
teleprompter.
carried
Why did they
out,
choose? Why did they
and
choose
this
that?
new collaborative app was
Why?
produced.
That was an awful shot. Did they sparkle his teeth? Did they sparkle his teeth?
Based on Miku's image,
Wait,
the
what, her
Domino's
nail?
app
Why is it
changes its
Pizza Hut
appearance.
themed?
A lot of music and illustrations
God.
produced by Domino's crew are here. From the
Is that
menu
a
to the
fake
order,
nail?
it looks
I
very
hope it's a fake
cute,
nail.
just like Miku.
But at the same time,
Once your pizza's delivered, have some fun with Miku. It comes with a social camera function and you can take various poses, pictures of Miku. Very cool. And last but not
This
least,
hurts.
the live performance. Start the pizza stage
I feel like I've
live and
had
point the camera towards the pizza
bosses
box.
like that.
And the pizza box will turn into a live dancing venue.
AR. That's really cool. It actually is fairly
A
cool.
live performance of Love for Night, produced by Domino's crew. Here we go.
He's very enthusiastic, at least at the end. I mean, very, very cool. Yes. I mean,
Let's enjoy the rest of the performance with the app.
why weren't you showing the entire thing? Showing the entire thing. Featuring, okay. Archiving purposes. You need to. Oh, that's why. Oh, Japan. You need to download the app, you need to buy the pizza. The pizza's gonna be like $30 because it's Japan. Actually, did I buy Pizza Hut or did I buy... Let me just double check. I mean, it was way after this came out, but I did buy pizza while I was in Japan. I bought Domino's or Pizza Hut. Let me check. It's gonna be on like the top of the box. Whatever the photo was. I just have to find the photo section. Let's see. You can't find the pizza box on eBay. Someone probably has a recording of it, but then again, you have to settle for like the AR version. So it's gonna be like It's gonna be like recording at a concert kind of quality, you know? I guess that's kind of the thing that sucks about it. Like, at best, it looks like that. Thinking back on... I did get to see a Hakune Hatsune Miku concert in... I don't want to say in real life. It was kind of a... I don't want to say it was bootleg, because it wasn't like... It was not official, but then again... What it really is? I guess there is actually official concerts. But it was on a very large plastic sheet, I believe, that they put up, or like netting. So they did basically the, I don't want to say AR, there's a word for that, right? Where, a holographic concert, I suppose? Like a very early unofficial one. It was really cool at the time. Very lucky to have seen it. I think that was probably one of the earlier instances in the US of that happening. All thanks to some young kid who put it together. It's a pizza. Where is that pizza? God, the fucking baguette dog. Japan and their food. Let's see. Okay. I can't, the photo album's out of order. I swear I ate pizza. I don't want to say shitty small pizza, but maybe I'm overlooking it because I'm not used to looking for this box. It was Pizza Hut. It was... What size was that pizza? I wonder if I can pop it over here. Real quick. Let's switch it. It's not the one for this show, but it is a pizza box. Actually, I should copy it over into the folder so it's a little better looking. And so I can actually find it easily when I have to go back. Pizza. Okay, can I rotate it first? I rotated it the wrong way. 180 degree? Nope. I need to transform it one more bit clockwise. Okay. Yep, just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a medium on top of a large for pizzas in Japan. And compare it against the size of that drink, which is, as you can see, probably a little anemic compared to most American bottles of Pepsi. It would not be quite so indented. Yeah, I think that was the sizing. And the insides were interesting. I can pop those over too. And copy them over. So, the top smaller one is going to be flipped as well. Oh, it's not flipped. Some sort of like, beef pizza, I think? I guess it looks like it has onions on it too and peppers. So like it may have been like a bulgogi type pizza-ish. And the second pizza was a really weird pizza that had 4 different like crust toppings on it. So there was like cheese and ham and I think chicken or shrimp. It's hard to tell on the right. And then more beef on the like 6 o'clock-ish position. Yeah, it was very much a specialty pizza, so it cost a bit more than otherwise. But yeah, Japan and their pizzas, they do interesting things. They also have what, like corn as a regular topping as well. Yeah, that's one of the smaller boxes. I mean, the pizza was tasty. I think for novelty purpose, it was worth the price. But if I lived in Japan, I'd rather just make my own pizza because it's not the same as American pizza. But then again, I live in a place where pizza is extremely easily accessible, so my definition of pizza is probably a little bit more, not limited. I don't mind avant-garde toppings, but the crust, I think, is something that needs a lot of work. Like, Pizza Hut is fine for pizza. It's just not like standard pizza. Don't really need to go to Domino's or anything like that very often. We have so many local places. But yeah, pizza in Japan. You should try it once. Probably, I mean, I guess more, but again, like expensive for the size. When you could be eating something that isn't Pizza Hut in Japan. But at least I've done it. At least I've done it. I've made the cat girls from Soviet Ikuyo proud. And what, Cece? Yep. Next on the list, Tokyo Marble Chocolate. This is another series that I actually really like. And the only, I'm gonna put it up into S. I would say the one thing that just worries me a little bit, if I ever want to suggest it to someone, is it's a 2-episode OVA. The problem is that it's not labeled 1 and 2. It's labeled boy and girl, pretty much. So you have the same story, it's told from 2 different sides, one following the girl, one following the boy. It was stylistic at the time. Let me look up Tokyo Marble Chocolate. Oh hey, it's on Blu-ray? I didn't know that. But yes, very stylistic. Cute. Bobobo? Yeah, I never finished Bobobo. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about Bobobo. I don't know a whole lot about it aside from it was a Shonen Jump series. It was a comedy that got a dub and it got put in... It actually got on TV. I have to wonder why. But I guess it was on Cartoon Network and not on Adult Swim, right? So aiming at that young boy crowd, I'm sure that sort of thing worked. I've never seen JoJo either. I'm kind of a bad anime fan. I've never read JoJo either, I should specify. It's not that I just haven't watched it, I haven't read it. I remember the whole thing when I was... I guess the crowd that I was in, like overall, there weren't too many JoJo fans there. As far as I know. Yeah, Tokyo Marble Chocolate, really cute. But how you feel about the series might be heavily impacted by whether or not you see the boy side first or the girl side first. Personally, I would suggest watching boy side first, if you ever get the chance. That's how I did it. How they go into the last arc? Yeah. I think boy side first? I actually wonder... Let me look up real quick. I think girl side aired first. Like, it did actually air on TV. But I liked it when it was boy side first. Yeah, just 2 episodes. So it was a collab project between Production IG and BMG Japan. It doesn't say which one came first. But yes, actually, it's about a couple that are just starting to date. Like, they might have 1 or 2 dates down. And honestly, I don't really know why it's called Tokyo Marble Chocolate. Thank you for the follow, Drac Alexis. Keroro fans? Yeah, Keroro was really good, and I'm really sad that it didn't get more translated episodes. Funimation, like, stopped at what? Season 4? Season 5? Yeah! Keroro got screwed! The dub was really good, too, I think. It was really fun. I don't mind it. I don't mind dubs. I am kind of lazy. I don't mind reading. But sometimes you're looking for something to more so listen to than watch. Doing something else, for instance. Doing actual... Well, I shouldn't say actual work, but... Doing other things. And Kara was good for that. Okay, I didn't move Tokyo Marble Chocolate off. Shame. It's still going in wait, actually did it finish in Japan? May have. I know that it has its own magazine though, like Keroro Ace, doesn't it? I saw it for sale a couple of times, but I never picked it up. It probably would have been, like, would it be easy to read or would it be hard to read? It's hard to judge sometimes. It looks like it's aimed at children. Is it really? Hard to judge. F. F, A Tale of Memories. Keroro Ace was a special? So what, like a once-a-year thing? That came out with Gundam Ace or something? One of the other aces? Does Gundam and Keroro kind of go, I don't want to say hand in hand, because like, Gundam can live without Keroro. Can Keroro live without Gundam, though? Can it really? But yeah. It can be hard to keep up with some shows if you don't have the time to read, if they're only available via reading. And then again, there's also some series that maybe would be better off with a different voice cast. For instance, I was talking earlier about how much I couldn't get through this show, Sora no Toshimono, because of the voice of the main character. He was so rough. Not rough. He just sounded so awful. So nasally. So... Did you ever just want to take someone's throat and then just kind of start squeezing until there's no more? It was that kind of voice. Yeah. And maybe the English voice actor would have done him better than that. I'm sure he was meant to be a very annoying character, but maybe it would be a little different in English. Maybe it wouldn't be quite so squeezable. So, yeah, like maybe the change would have been good. And there's definitely some that what people complain about the dub voices because they don't really match the Japanese voices. Yeah, Heaven's Lost Property. Yeah, sometimes I can't quite get between the English title and the Japanese title, mixing them up a bit. And then there's some where they come with like subtitles, like when I was talking about Asobi ni Ikuyo, it's Asobi ni Ikuyo, Bombshells from the Sky. But the English, the official Funimation release is Cat Planet Cuties. So, like, which name out of the three? Which one resonates with the fans? And I want to say the answer is probably not. They didn't have enough fans to keep going because there still isn't the second season. It needs second season, please. I wanted a second season of that show. I don't know, was your introduction to Gundam? That feels a little backwards. I thought that Gundam was much more popular than that. And it's not that Keroro came out on... Actually, I guess if you had the Funimation channel, Keroro would have been on there, wouldn't it? But for most other people, I would think Gundam was the thing that was being aired and seen. But maybe it just depends on what your friends are into? Why did I start watching Keroro? I guess it... I think it may have just been it was on sale on Right Stuff for the first season. And like, oh, why not? It's on sale and it looks cute and it's supposed to be a comedy, right? And oh look, there's some voice actors I like in there. And then, oh wow, this is really good. Let's pick up the rest of it. Do I even have... I have Gundam on here, don't I, somewhere? I have to have Gundam somewhere. There had to have been Gundam in this 10-year period. I'm not seeing Gundam. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. Maybe I just have like a is this Gundam? No, it's Genesis of Aquarian. Okay. Maybe I just have kind of a blind spot for giant robots right now, mentally. Maybe I already covered Gundam. Maybe I already covered Gundam. Yeah, I did. I mean, Wing was all the rage when I was younger. But maybe that was for a very, very specific audience. It was a real shame rewatching the first 4 episodes and realizing, wow, this is a little this was a bit stilted. Why do we like this again? But F, A Tale of Melodies. I must have memories in here too. I wonder if I already covered memories. Or maybe I just picked one image for both of them. I feel like since they were such different shows, they weren't such different shows. I shouldn't say that. I may have put them on here twice. Maybe. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, memories and melodies. I'm gonna move them together. Feels weird to count them, to review them differently, since they're one is the sequel of the other-ish, but it's also kind of a prequel. F memories and F melodies were very popular back in the day for AMVs, especially because the visual novels had their, I think the opening section, it was definitely a section of animation done by Makoto Shinkai, or at least the backgrounds were. It was a very pretty sequence, so that was popular in AMVs along with actual content from the shows. I want to say the shows are fine, but they certainly cut corners in some places in the animation. They were... I don't know if this still happens quite as much, but back in the day there might be sections where they repeated something 3 times over to kind of pad out timings and save on the animation process. Or just, you know, the long stills. And F Memories was certainly guilty of that. Or just having, text fill the screen? I distinctly remember there was like an entire minute of that in one section when they could have done something a little bit more evocative, I suppose. The AMVs make it look, I don't want to say a lot better than it actually was, but a lot of the really good chunks are in the AMVs of the period. But it's... I don't want to call it... It's not a harem show. It's a romance visual novel series. About different couples. Although, in one case... It's a triangle? It's a triangle. I'm not going to rank them separately here. The only reason I have them differently is because they were spaced apart, and they have connected plots, but not horrifically connected plots. Let's see. Watch it again. Did I put them in the right spot? Okay, that was one. Copy the other. Yeah. I'll move those over. Ghost in the Shell. Standalone Complex specifically. I think I've actually seen most of it. What was aired on TV. It was pretty good. Had pretty memorable music. Good animation for the time. Cute mascots. I actually have a few of the Tachikomas around somewhere. And also some other merch from the series. Like, I don't think I have a signed poster, but I do have a movie release poster, not from Standalone Complex, but from Arise when it was released. I got to see it in theaters. First 50 people get a poster or something like that as well. I don't know if I still have that poster though. I don't know if I got a chance to put it up. A lot of groups put out free posters. But I do have a few signed posters, but not for that series. Although, actually, I do have... so I got to meet the voice of Bato. And I have some DVDs signed by him. He was not just the voice of Bato here, but I believe he was also... Let me double check. It was Bato. I think he may have voiced someone in Fushigi Yugi? I think he was the Medicine Man. And when I say Medicine Man, he's one of the seven main characters. Let's see, let's count them as like 9 main characters, and he's one of the 9. But probably one of the most forgotten. As evidenced by the fact that I cannot remember his name. Okay, it was Richard Epcar. He's also Zangetsu from Bleach, as talked about earlier. Else? He's Sadao from Lucky Star. Who's Bato. I really thought that he was something from Shiyugi. It's not showing on here. Maybe they didn't think it was important enough. Come on, where's the, like... Okay, maybe I should just go to... ANN. Richard Epcar, please. Yeah, he was Mitsutake. Okay, yeah. Mitsukake from Fushigi, so that's also what I got signed by him. Yeah. Lots of... I don't want to say smaller voice actors, because he's also the voice, I believe, of Gaius from Final Fantasy XIV, the Praetorian version. He's the one who had that entire speech. Every time I hear him make that speech, all I can think about is Bato. Like, it doesn't fit at all. And I believe he's married to a voice actress as well. Let's see. I keep thinking it's one person, but it's actually another. Okay, Ellen Stern. Yeah. What did she do? Mobile Suit Gundam UC and a bit of Lupin and some characters from Bleach. And a bunch of other things that people have probably forgotten about. Like, she's actually in War, which I talked about earlier. And she's in Robotech. Talking about Final Fantasy, okay. I never saw The Spirits Within. I remember very specifically when it came out and seeing what the Wired magazine kind of pin-up swimsuit pull-out they had, I think. It was a pull-out, wasn't it, for her? And she was supposed to be, what, the next star? Digital diva type thing? And it never went anywhere, right? Okay, what if I look up, like, Final Fantasy? Okay, I probably actually should not look her up first without looking it up in another tab, because I don't know how much porn they made of her. How much porn did they make of her? I was too young to consider that at the time. Oh, I guess as a Maxim Top 100, she was in there or something as Aki Ross. Because that's the, what? That's supposed to be the model's actress name? And thinking about how this sort of thing has changed over time. Would it be more acceptable now to have this sort of fake star? I say. Speaking now as a VTuber. Maybe she just didn't look quite so Uncanny Valley at the time. Maybe that was the big problem. It doesn't seem like I missed out on a whole lot, though, by skipping it, though. As far as I know. Welcome to the NHK. This one was such a painful watch. It's not the most painful thing I've ever watched, but it's kind of up there. I think the most painful one was, well, the most painful one that comes to memory off of that is, what, It's You Guys' Fault I'm Not Popular? That one I couldn't make more than, I think, 2 or 3 episodes in. But I very much liked Welcome to the HK. I don't know how popular it was. I did start reading the light novel, but I don't think I got very far at the time. And it feels a little unbelievable. Toradora is an S. There's nothing higher than S. I haven't restarted watching it. I watched the first episode earlier this year, maybe the first 2 or 3, but I haven't restarted it since. But Toradora is pretty good. Anything else? I did actually once see at one of the conventions I went to, a very cute, very, I don't want to say realistic. She was super short, a very cute little Taiga cosplayer. She wasn't a child. She was just a very petite young lady. I also remember her being alone. Just kind of like, I just want to protect you. It's a shame I didn't get a photo of her at the time. I didn't want to bother her. Don't want to get in the way of any palm top tigers. But yeah, welcome to the HK. Possibly realism? Yeah. Can they actually match the height? Well, I mean, like, I don't know what her actual height is supposed to be in this show. She's probably supposed to be, what, below 5 foot? I don't know if the cosplayer was below 5 foot, but she was shorter than me, which... She could have been around 5 foot. Then again, for Japanese girls that particularly short 5 foot, I don't necessarily think so. I remember feeling a bit... I actually felt a little bit tall when I was in Japan, which in America I'm usually not. I still can't believe how the last time I was measured for my height, the fact that I came up as tall as I did. It's like, where did that extra inch come from? Really late spurt, I guess, for elves. Well, I shouldn't say I'm a little bit tall for an elf, but... we're not necessarily as tall as you would think. Welcome to the NHK. Two very realistic, kind of worrying, but overall enjoyable. It's in... sorry about the cough. I should probably be drinking more water. Maybe take a cough drop. Kind of Mamo though. Okay. Posture. I'm sitting up properly in the chair. The air is flowing into the chest. That's what's supposed to happen if you sit properly, right? Easier to breathe. No worse shrimp. Okay. Thank you. Kanamemo. I remember being an early show when Crunchyroll kind of went legit, and I don't think very many people... I don't know how popular it was. It had a... It was very cute. I actually really liked it. It's very much a comfort show for me. No more shonen anti-hero for me? Who's the shonen anti-hero here? Are you saying like Ryuji's in the shonen anti-hero, or just like in general? Like looking at my list, like shonen tend to be ranked poorly because it's not necessarily untrue. I do have events. I don't think there's a single boy in Kanamemo though, for all I can think of. I think the entire cast was female. Unless there was a cat. Maybe. Oh, shonen anti-hero posture. Okay. Okay. I'll be like sickly. Straight up. But yeah. Kanamemo, young girls. I think in this case it was a middle schooler who is working with a bunch of college girls. Except her boss is supposed to be in like elementary school or something, so a bit what's the word? Like a little bit fan servicey. But it was also kind of surprisingly realistic in some other standards. For instance, dealing with a girl who becomes a newspaper carrier, and she has to go out on deliveries at like ass o'clock in the morning and then again in the afternoon. But at least the ass o'clock in the morning one she can do because it's before school time. And she has to learn how to carry like stupidly heavy newspaper bags pretty much because of that. And that's an initial obstacle for her because all the other girls are like much bigger than her because they're in college. And also they can ride a bicycle, so they can stick it in there and it's a lot easier to travel and cover the distance, but she doesn't know how to ride a bicycle. So she's stuck doing footpaths. And also there's one time they all want to go on a trip or something to a water park because of the free coupons that come with the newspaper sometimes. Like some of the girls have been kind of sneaking them away while the boss isn't looking instead of giving them away. And all of them want to go at once, but they're all the people who work at this newspaper delivery company. If they're all gone, who's going to do the work? That's what the boss points out, and they realize, it's not, we can't all go. We would have to reschedule or something. Not reschedule, but only have a chunk, and is that really fair? So, some cute things like that. And also preparing for, I think, a hurricane, too, is another scenario. But yeah, cute. Maybe slightly pandering 13-episode series. Very soft. Not terribly poorly animated. Maybe the designs leave a little bit to be desired, but I'm okay with this Moe face blob. I like this one. It's mine. It's my comfort. It's also got a cute song too. I wonder if I can bring that one up. Kinda memo. I don't remember which one it was. There's two and they're both good. Okay. This is, I guess, the opening. Yep, Moe Blob time. I never watched Canon. I actually own it. I bought the box set because it was on sale. I should specify, I watched the first few episodes, but I never finished it, so never finished pile. It's gonna be a lot more in there. Although this one I did watch. Nogizaka Haruka's Secret. I saw the first one and the second one. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to do this. Can I do this? I should be able to do this. Nogizaka Haruka's Secret. You know what her big secret is? She's an otaku. She's a rich princess kind of girl, and she's an otaku. It's not the absolute worst. You know what? It's gonna go in F anyway. But it was kind of bad. It's not as bad as Highlander. I actually finished it. But, yeah. Her big secret that she has the main boy character help hide is that she's a big otaku. You would never guess this shy young princess is an otaku, would you? And of course, all the other girls are also fighting over this boy. And this is 26 episodes, I think. Maybe 24 episodes? Something like that. Episodes of this content. With, again, more pandering. This one did not capture my heart. It did not. I wonder why. Maybe it's the boy. Maybe if we just, like, remove the boy, it would have been better. Because that's what... I don't want to say that's what they did in Kamema, but, like, there's no boy in there to distract from anything. There's still, like, love scenarios going on in here, but it's between the girls. Actually. Yeah, that's probably not too bad of a lookout for this. remove the boy. It may have been better. But then I guess it wouldn't be a harem show. I guess, like, would you call this moe face? It's really big eyes and, like, tiny mouth and stuff like that, but it's not quite blobbish yet, I guess. Yeah. Although then again, like, looking at it, her eyes are a good quarter of her face, if not a third. Maybe it was kind of endemic of its time. I was just thinking about the size of the eyes compared to, say, GA art design. I actually don't know if I finished this one. But yeah, it's another kind of very moe blob type show. As you can see. Okay, that looks like fan art. I'm not gonna make fun of that one. I'm gonna make fun of, like, I guess this type, though. It's moe blob. It's very cute. It's another kind of comfort show. Oh, I guess there was a crossover? Or no, it's just a fan art, maybe. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why, but this one didn't quite grab me as much as Hinamari Sketch did. Actually, I actually don't know if I ever finished it. I don't think I did. Or that may have been because I already basically solved the show before with Hidamari Sketch and also with Sketchy Switchy. Not Sketchy Switchy. Sketchbook Full Colors, which I think is already on here somewhere. Sketchbook Full Colors, Sketchbook Full Colors. Ah, yeah, here it is. On C. So yeah, like, kind of, I would say less moe blobby here, I guess, a little bit. And I feel like Sketchbook is also kind of less moe blobbish, somehow, versus the last one. Harder to overcome. Or maybe just because it was too late. This is Tweeny Witches, which, with a name like Tweeny Witches, don't have really high expectations, do you? But the art was actually interesting at the time. I never finished it though. I don't remember what the original name was though. But yeah, I feel like they did a great disservice by calling it Tweeny Witches, even though that technically describes what the witches are. Maho Shoujotai Arusu. Arusu is the name of the main character, right? So basically it's a magical girl Arusu. Kind of like Alice, but not quite. So I suppose Tweeny Witches is a bit... Tweeny Witches is more marketable. But again, I don't know if people who would go for something called Tweeny Witches would be interested in this, necessarily. Just a disservice to the series. I think this was another longer series. If it wasn't 26 episodes, it was probably 52. But very well animated, I think. It's just, if you think of anime, this feels a bit more like it was French influence, right? Like it feels a bit like, what was it, Code Lyoko a little bit, I guess? At least here with the shapes of the eyes and the highly visible foreheads. I think Funimation picked it up. I don't know if they started with it though. It feels like it may have been a Geneon product. 40 but 26 because of the way that they did the spacing. The breakup. Okay. Okay, 15-minute episodes. I've seen that trick before. I have watched that trick before. It just feels a little strange using it for a show like this, because the only time I've seen it otherwise has been with lighter projects, which I don't know if I have on this list, but yeah, I never finished this. That unfinished list is really long. Do I have the other one that ended up the same sort? Yeah, I do. Princess Tutu is the other one that ended up with the strange number of episodes released because the second half was 15-minute episodes. But I would highly suggest Princess Tutu, and it has a really good AMV that everyone who's watched it, pretty much, that I know of, has decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this show because of this. And otherwise you wouldn't necessarily think too highly of it, because look at it. It's what? A ballet show? That's for girls, right? But no. It's not just for girls. Princess Tutu is about a duck that can turn into a girl who can turn into a magical girl. The girl is a ballet student, and the magical girl is an actual ballet dancer. And it's a fairy tale series. And I wonder if I can find the AMV really quick. Hold me now. I'm not going to show it though. It feels weird to say, like, you should watch this AMV because it's going to make you want to watch the series. But at the same time, if you watch the AMV, it's rough. It's rough. And I feel like I want to say that AMVs are kind of in that rough spot because they're not really, it's not that they're not legal exactly, but you're making content out of someone else's content, which I guess is what I'm doing right now too with the images. But in this case, they're ignored because they serve as promotional material for the show, and I feel like Princess Tutu got a huge bolster from that AMV. Huge bolster. Like, do I show the AMV? Let me just check real quick. Like, is this a good copy of it? Do I even have, like, I might have a local copy, and then I don't even have to worry about having to show, what's the phrase? Having to show ads or anything like that accidentally. Because I do have local copies of a bunch of these things, but I just don't happen to have them necessarily in an accessible place without taking a hit to something. No, I don't. I would have to download my entire videos folder, and that would be multiple gigs worth of stuff. I wonder real quick, Twitch. Can I put up like a... Oh, no, I won't bother. I'm just gonna drop the link in here. If you want to watch it on your own, feel free. Mostly because... Let me check. I don't want to, like, drop it on you. Okay. It's too invading. Okay, off over for now. Too hard too. Okay, I have to say that I really like Tamaki Kosaka. But I'm sorry, the show's kind of shit. Like, it's okay, it's not great. Tamaki's great, I love her, but she deserves better than Toharu. If I had $3,000 lying around for fun, I would probably try and pick up the Kosaka doll. But I don't. Instead, I'll just settle for my 4 or 5 figures I already have of her lying around in boxes. and I'll just wait and see if they put out a non-price gouge secondhand version of the doll. But yeah, I've seen True Heart 2, I've seen the OAVs, and they're not very memorable. They're very, very generic. They're okay. I just feel so bad for Tamaki-san. I wish she had better. She was very popular for a time for figures as well. She had a series of, what, 4, I think? That were very popular. Like the hold up your own swimsuit style type thing. And a few others. I don't even know if she probably wasn't even the most popular girl from the series. I feel like the most popular girl from the series here, aside from the main character, it would probably have to be the white-haired school council girl who isn't even in this picture. She's only from like the OAVs and stuff. She's basically an expansion character. I guess the girls print money. The girls print money. Waifus print money. What else? Oh, Spice and Wolf. Waifu's printing money. I guess she didn't technically legally print money, but she was a money generator. I've only seen the first series. I actually own the second one, but I haven't watched it yet. I own it on Blu-ray. But I very much enjoyed the first season. It's kind of like a tie-up. If there were a cat, it would be an S. I'm gonna say it. Because like Princess Tutu had cats. Princess Tutu had a very important cat. Part of the reason why it's an S. But give me the cat in Spice and Wolf. There were no cats. That's why. It's only wolves. And sheep, I guess. And a dog. Spice and Wolf. Actually, I do remember getting a promo for that and having that in the back of my car for a long time, so long that it actually got bleached. Basically, they were giving out postcards. I think it was her buried under what, the skins and the apples and stuff. It was that pin-up picture of her. I think there was also someone who made a doll out of her. Like, there hasn't been a licensed one, or at least there wasn't at the time, but someone made their own. It looked pretty good, too. But she didn't get very many figures. It's still kind of surprising that it got a second season. I'm grateful, even though I didn't actually watch it yet. Oh, I do remember actually going to a convention where they had available the VR game. They had a promo for it. So I actually got to have a headset on and stumble through the opening for that VR game. That is it did actually get released, right? And I think it was supposed to be kind of like an extension of the series, and it was officially licensed, blah, blah, blah. And, like, give me the Wolf Goddess? Okay, you're supposed to be playing as Lawrence, I think, during the VR game. I just felt so awkward because she's so small. She was so tiny. It just kind of like, you're too small. Someone wants attention. Someone's jealous of the wolf girl. But yeah, no, she was just tiny. But maybe that was partially because you're supposed to be in the mindset of a tall man. And how to put it? Even though, like, VR, you're putting me in the body of that, I'm still not, like, seeing myself from that angle, so I still see myself as being a short-ish, well, average girl height. And then seeing someone even smaller than myself in that regard makes me think, oh god, they're tiny. That sort of thing. So it was a VR Spice and Wolf game, right? I was released in 2019, so it was literally just Spice and Wolf. Developer Spicy Tales. It feels like it probably wasn't very long. I think part of the thing too is you could pet her on the head. Which, oh, I should mention, so this was all a promo that was done in the middle of a convention hall. So everyone could see what you were watching, like where your head was angled and what you were doing in the promo, in the test, because they had it on a large screen in front of you as well. That was really awkward. Like, keep the head up. Keep the head up. I'm just like the other girls. I'm not. Have I ever said I'm not like the other girls? I would like to think I'm average height, but I feel like, barring... I feel like most of the girls that I know are taller. And I want to say one of the few people I can really think of who's shorter than me is by quite a bit, and it's my mother. And, well, how to put this? She's from the old country, it's a little bit expected, and also she's old. I'm not old. I shouldn't be short. I'm average. And also hearing from other people as well. I think, what? Some of the others are supposed to be, some of them are shorter. Let's see. Yeah, thinking about girls who are under 5 foot, it must be a tough life. It must be a tough life, being able to reach those things. Because it's kind of tough already at my height. When I get old, I'll be short. That's if you go to the old country. I'm saying it's a combination of her being from a country that didn't have necessarily great... they're not particularly known from their height. And also now she's old, so they shrink a little bit when you age, right? So I think that probably didn't help. And also maybe a little bit of the old elf stoop. It all comes together to create a shorter person. All together. I will say her entire family is kind of short. Even the men. It's a little crazy to have uncle shorter than me. Wolf's Rain. Wolf's Rain. Let's see. The only thing that shrinks with age is the will to live. Is it? Is there anything else that would shrink with age? No, height does too. Height does too. You kind of get compressed a little bit, I swear. There's an article out there somewhere about it. Somewhere. You get tiny bit shorter with your right compressing or something. What else would get shorter? Telomeres? I think that would be another thing, right? That counts as part of you. It's telomeres, right? Or is it that they're lengthening? One of the ways it fucks you up. Telomeres and aging. Telomeres shorten with age. Aha! And yeah, telomere shortening is bad. Shortening telomeres is bad. Maybe that actually impacts your will to live, though. It probably does, heavily. Wolf's Rain. I have only watched it... I would say I've only watched it once, fully through. And not even, like, fully through. I saw lots of snippets, and then I saw the end. And I will say I don't think I can ever really watch it again. And... I remember some AMVs and they make me cry. I can't watch those either. I'll put it in the... It's good, but I cannot watch it again. There's a few others that are also in this category. I don't know if they're from this era, though. There might be. It depends on if Hoshin no Kodomo came out in the 2000s. Looking at what else came out, though, I feel like it didn't. I feel like it was later than that. Yeah, it must have been in the 2010s. Because I think 5 centimeters is probably the last one that came out in that time range. Yeah, I don't think I could ever watch Wolf's Rain ever again. I don't. Crying. It's not something I usually aim to do. Okay, Clamp in Wonderland 2. It feels weird to have this in here, but it did release in the 2000s. But it's actually a music video. Clamp released 2 official music videos. The first one was earlier. I think it may have actually been in the early 2000s as well. That had a whole bunch of their properties. And this is the second half, where they added the Holic and Legal Drug and Tsubasa Reservoir characters added to it. Okay, I don't want to do that. It's real cute. It feels a little weird, though, that I understand that the credits kind of run pretty much the length of the music video. It's really nice, though, also in that it does have sections for the new characters, but it also doesn't necessarily neglect the old characters. It still has the X characters, even though they never got a proper ending. And it also actually shows that there are multiple Mokunas. I remember helping with a Jeopardy-style quiz that was supposed to be anime-based for a section of it. And someone had proposed the question, how many Mokunas are there? And I think their answer was like 1 or 2. It was just sort of a, not really. They're all different. There's like, what, 3? And it was from a newer Clamp fan who hadn't seen the original. Or I guess hadn't read enough into, into the series to know that they're all actually different. They're not the same. They're not the same character. They're not the same creature, exactly. Binchotan. If I look at Binchotan, it's gonna have the wrong thing. Yep, okay. Not wrong. Okay, so Binchotan, if I preface this with anime, is gonna show Binchotan, the anime. She's named after a piece of charcoal because that's literally what she is. It's a cute everyday slice of life focusing on a tiny girl who does cute things. So this is like peak Moe Blob. And they are actually supposed to be like tiny girls. Tiny girls do cute things. But yeah, if it's not anime, it's literally charcoal. And I actually have Binchotan. I went and I ordered Binchotan to use in a Binchotan grill because of the anime. I have not even one of these. It's like a girl that is it's this girl. I pretty much have this girl. And I gotta tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks to grill on one of these things, especially in the middle of winter. I think I had to use a hair blow dryer to get it to stay at heat. Then again, middle of winter. Probably wasn't the best idea, but you really wanted to try it out, like just having bought it on sale. So, very cute, very sweet. It's nothing particularly good to write home about, aside from cute girls, cute Moe Blobs do cute things. It didn't super grab my heart. Not like some of the other Moe Blob series of the era. Okay. Mame Shiba feels a little weird to have in here as well, but it was a series of shorts, actually, and it also had a book. But it was a series of commercials, basically. Or at least it felt like commercials. Okay, someone is complaining. He is never at peace. He is never at peace. Okay, but Mamishiba. Well, I'll put it in here too. Let's see. But all I really remember from the series, aside from all these are okay, Mamishiba, 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 Anime. They're a bunch of beans, and they are all like distinctly different beans. Just advertising beans, I guess, like kind of Hello Kitty but beans. I guess Hello Kitty isn't advertising any particular food. But they were famous at the time for basically saying, "Ne, ne, shitteru," and then coming up with like something really weird. But basically like, hey, did you know? Let me just check if I can find one. A Mamishiba ad. Oh, there's a section for all of dubbed. Let's just check this real quick. Okay. Oh yeah, Mamishiba means bean dog. Okay, let me pop this open in the right window here. Okay, let me stop the music so we're not listening to Bigata HK during this. Doesn't quite go. Okay.
It's
This one. Okay, it's an ad. Ah, I still haven't done it on this thing. The ad reps. Canary is something a little different. Oh, I can skip. Great. Okay. Mamishiba. Bean dog. Commercials.
豆しばいただきます。あ、
Huh?
いて。
Oh, it's the dog? It's the dog.
え
So cute.
じゃーん。ねえ、知ってる？フランスではタンポポのことをおねしょって言うんだよ。
Yeah, this is how it goes. Do you really want something like that to eat? Yep.
豆しば
Mamishiba.
いただきます。
Ah, wait, okay, just one more. One more odd fact. What are we going to learn about today?
わ
Oh, is that a kuromame? Kuromames are so tasty. They're so sweet.
ー。え？ねえ、知ってる？カバの汗ってピンク色なんだって。
Yeah. Just what you wanted to hear before you ate. That's a really big looking kuromame though. But it's weird to say like kuromame my favorite of the bean set, but it's kind of hard not to like them considering they're pretty much like literally beans preserved in sugar. So tasty. But if they're good in moderation. Like it wouldn't be good to have a rice dish that was literally only the rice and those beans. They gotta be having something else. Like they're good with kimchi and other things. I was introduced to them. They were a banchan item in a Korean restaurant. Highly suggest kuromame. Oh, let me put this back up. Okay. Eyeshield 21. This is another one of those longer shonen series that I never finished. I feel like I got a lot farther into it than I would have a lot of other series, so it feels weird to put it in here, even though I've probably watched like 20 or 30 episodes. But, like, okay. This is the closest I've ever gotten to caring about football, this series. I don't even know if I can say when I was reading it that I really understood all the rules for football. They probably explained it in the beginning, I probably understood at the time. It has not stuck. I still don't really know the rules very well. But it was catchy, and I like the blonde demon guy. The main character wasn't too bad either. It's an interesting premise. It was kind of cool seeing how the team was built for a game that wasn't very popular in Japan. It's not really something you hear about, right? Like Japanese football teams trying to popularize that kind of sport there. And that was also, I think, how I learned about the Rice Bowl. Rice Bowl is still a thing, right? Let me check. Rice Bowl Japan. Okay, like Rice Bowl Football Japan. Okay. Yeah, so every January there is a rice bowl in Japan in the Tokyo Dome. That is their national championship game. I just like that they have, what's the phrase? Accepted it, like, not even just accepted, they've embraced that naming scheme for it. Okay. I feel like this is another Gakuen Heaven. Gakuen Heaven. Okay, looking at the front of this, right? It doesn't look very impressive. It looks like, what is it? Is it a harem show? Like, well, maybe I should say reverse harem? All these boys, and there's no girl? Maybe the girl is you? Maybe? No, it's a yaoi show is a weird thing to say, because it's not like it got graphic. Well, I will say, it wasn't porn. I was introduced to this when people were showing off guilty pleasures that they had watched, that they loved. And the girl who was known for loving yaoi and shonai chose this. It was just kind of like an eye roll, and like, okay, let's see what this is about. I'm not okay. I like it in general, like the concept. But this series was just hilarious. It was awesome. It was so over the top. I'm gonna get an A. I have very fond memories of that night, and also it got me to watch the entire series. I gotta say, it did not disappoint in that category. Like, if you treat it as a comedy, because it's just so over the top and unabashed. It's about the boy, I believe it's the red hair over here with the blue eyes on the bottom with his hand outstretched. He has been invited to a fancy all-boys school, all paid, by a mysterious benefactor who is unknown to him. And he's kind of made it his mission to figure out why he's been allowed here. And then he ends up being chased by all the other boys in that image. They all have kind of marked our young freshman here. I think he was a freshman? Probably a freshman. As their prey. They want to bang him. I think in most cases anyway. One of them, it's kind of like, is one of them a teacher? Probably not. I don't think so. He's probably just a senior in the back there with the, like, dark hair. But, yeah. Chasing after the young bottom. It was a good series. I start good, because, like, objectively maybe not, but subjectively yes. Again, this only reflects my own taste, I should specify, which explains the numbers in some cases. It would probably be higher if there were a cat. I get to collapse this, or just straight up delete it. Oh wait, what is this? I'm just gonna hide that one too. I'm still not done. Nowhere close to done. Okay. Oran. Oran was one of the... I think... It was a hit at the time when it came out. It had long-lasting effects. It had long-lasting effects. Through my generation, I think. I think it came out when I was starting college. I vaguely recall watching it then, and also seeing art for it released. I enjoyed it. It was not my favorite, but it was kind of nice with the main character not being extremely girly. I say that, and yet maybe it's just tempered by the fact that a lot of the other characters are kind of girly. Not super girly. I suppose it's kind of like comparing that against the Wallflower, which is over here in F territory between the two. They have similar well, I won't say similar premises, but because Wallflower is about a bunch of boys who are hired by a girl's aunt to try and make her into a proper, perfect lady, and failing because she is like a negative self-esteem, horror-loving NEET, pretty much. And Ouran, where it's a bunch of boys playing a game of... They're not trying to improve on her. I mean, I guess they kind of are. At least one of them is. I guess they just enjoy her as she is, even though, again, she is nothing like one would expect from a proper lady. But she doesn't care about them necessarily. And really, I guess one of the only characters who does is the one who didn't recognize her as a woman. But, oh, it was a good series. In my eyes. Okay. What do I have left? Gintama. I never watched Gintama. I don't think I've seen a single episode of Gintama. It feels like one of those things that probably should have been licensed on Cartoon Network or on Adult Swim. I don't know. Has it ever actually been? It really feels like it should have. Read or Die. Wait, Read or Die TV. I'm gonna grab the other Read or Die as well. I'm counting them as separate because they are fairly different. They're fairly different creatures. Ah. Okay. I'm gonna put Read or Die OVA first. So there's Read or Die, the OVA, and then there's Read or ROD the TV. I really, really, really like Read or Die OVA. Heavily. I have the Blu-rays of both of these, actually. And I feel like it's a very good introductory series because it's got a lot of the anime trappings, but it's also not necessarily set there. The first episode, I believe, is set at least partially in New York City, right? And it's heavily westernized in its approach because the main character works for the British library system, I believe. Let me double check. It's kind of a fictionalized version, of course. And she is codenamed The Paper, Za Paper, because she has the ability to manipulate paper as she pleases. And she is a horrific bookworm. She literally has books stacked everywhere. She can't get her nose out of a book. She's always got a book in hand, probably a backpack full of books. I say backpack, a wheelie bag full of books as well. And she has a fairly conservative outfit, even though you would not necessarily be able to tell from the pinup art that they made for this series, because wow, they really made it tight. But she's able to manipulate paper as she sees fit. She can rip the pages out of a book and make a shield out of it, make a giant paper airplane out of it, unlimited. She is the master of the paper in this series. And this is her, I want to say, co-host, so to speak. Okay, so if you have the heroine, what is she in relation? Second heroine? And she has the ability to phase through objects, so she is known as, I believe, Zadeep, the Deep. So she can go through the bookshelves, or she can go through the paper in this instance. Or, I think, actually in this case, I guess she's literally going through the paper, perhaps? And Read or Die is set in the same universe, but it is later in time. And there are links between the two, even though this one, the TV came out later, the original series has a little footnote to it. Not footnote. It has an early nod to one of the characters. You can see notes left by her, one of the connecting characters. They are both based on a light novel series that is all set in the same world as well. that starts earlier than all this. I don't necessarily know if they're all effectively connected or if it's more like alternate universes in some cases, because the TV series definitely goes interesting places. I would highly recommend it. But the original TV series, I think, is another S rank. Like, Raider, the TV series is good. It's really good. But I don't know how they can improve, but a little bit annoyed by a couple of things in a few spaces. And also by something else that they did that was really frustrating when they released it in America. I wonder if I have the photo. I think I have the photo. Yeah, I do have a photo of it. Let me grab it up. It's not my own personal photo, but it's a photo I found. So when they were releasing this in America, they have pencil boards, right? Because Japan loves pencil boards, so Americans will love pencil boards too. And so they did a first print release of pencil boards in all the DVDs. Because again, when you bought DVDs back in the day, it would be 3 to 4 episodes to a DVD. So that's what they did. And almost all of the DVDs in this case had pencil boards. But again, they weren't all necessarily... If you got a first print of the TV series, you may or may not have gotten a pencil board. And so all but one pencil board have been acquired. I don't honestly remember which one I'm missing. It's been so many years. But yeah, they had a good chunk of pencil boards available. And these are also double-sided too. They have like a pin-uppy version and a non-pin-uppy version. And I think they actually left out the worst pin-up, which is actually really good here. Because there's one pin-up that's kind of very, very borderline, to be perfectly frank. But the rest of them are pretty good. Like, yeah, I think all the rest, most of these are decent pinups. But again, if you missed out on the first printing in that like random lottery of did this DVD have the pencil board, you're stuck. You can't finish you can't complete the collection. I might end soon because the cough is not getting any better. I didn't want this to drag on for a third parter, but it might have to because my throat is getting worse. At least I finished one row. There was something else. Oh, I'm gonna go slightly out of order, I guess. This was a promo I was really excited to find. Well, I didn't actually find a copy of it, I should specify. I found the movie it was attached to. I'm gonna end with this one, I guess. So. This movie. It's got a rather long Japanese title, something about, Jin. Like G-I-N? G-I-N. The name that they chose when they released in America. The name they chose when they released in America was Origin. Very, very easy search, as you can imagine. I don't know what this movie was about. All I know is that when they released in America, they had promos available. But this in never seen. No one's talking about it even now, as far as I can tell. It did not make a splash. But yes, so promos that they gave out, and the promo I had access to was really cute. And actually, thinking back on it, I actually think it was kind of my gateway into gardening. They had seeds of plants. I guess there's no really other seeds, but they had plant seeds. Customized plant seed packages that they gave out as promos for this movie. Again, I don't know why, because I never actually watched it. But it was a very cute plant, and it took me a little while actually to plant them. I didn't plant them the year I got them, so did not have the chance. But the year after I did. And they were the cutest little things. It's called the sensitive plant. It's called the sensitive plant. And the other name is Mimosa pudica. And it's cool because when you touch it, it actually shifts like a Venus flytrap. But not quite. It actually just kind of tucks in. And it was easy to grow. It didn't grow huge, but then again, it was in a pot. Probably not a very big pot at the time either. But it was super cute. Actually, I have found an image. Oh, I found a GIF of how it works. So, you touch it, and it closes up. It's ticklish. It's a ticklish plant. And it really is that fast when you pet it. And that was my first foray into gardening. Seeing a plant like that, something I didn't know existed. And after that, there came a lot more plants than that. That was the first of many. That was the first one I had seeds for. Seeds that were, I guess not exactly my own choosing, but I kept them. And it was something that was mine and not anyone else's. My own garden. I think I might actually want to pick up another one and see how it grows. I'm glad I was able to find that it was actually Mimosa pudica, so I can pick up another one. I don't think it has too many subtypes. There are a lot of plants out there that have names where, sure, it's called this technically, like scientifically, but it has more sub-names. I'm not entirely certain if that's the proper term. So even though you might think you're picking up the same thing, it doesn't quite look the same. For instance, I wonder about roses. Let me check real quick. I know for primroses, it's not quite the same. If I tell you, let's see. If I tell you about Oenothera biennis, there's really only one plant it can be. Oh wait, nope, there are, never mind, other variants for that. But I'll be fairly close. But I don't think Mimosa pudica has so many, because it's not really super popular as a like potted plant, as far as I know. But yeah, it's a little splashy, it's a little cute, it's a talking point especially too, for your home as a potted plant. I would suggest trying them out if you're interested in gardening and you want something, something you can talk about. Yeah, I never actually saw this. This is a guy who's growing the plants. I wonder if they actually show up in there. Unless it... I mean, I kind of got that was an ecological theme for this series. Plants that move. Yeah, plants that move. I've actually tried to grow Venus flytraps as well. That did not turn out nearly as well as the Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant. I could not keep the Venus flytrap alive. I could not feed it. Every now and then I go to the table where I see the carnivorous plants, and I just kind of sigh because I know I can't support the pitcher plant. I can't provide that sort of life for it. Although, then again, maybe I can actually plant it outside? I don't know if it would work well. Maybe. It might, now that I think about it, it might actually not be so bad. It depends on the soil type. Although today, earlier, actually in the garden, I had to take down a huge pokeberry. I let it grow too much. It was kind of knocking on the kitchen windows. And I realized that I'm gonna have to get something to kill the roots because it was in there too deep, and I was not the first person to try and wrestle this plant into submission. I wonder if I can find a good picture of like a pokeberry. Pokeberry. It makes really pretty berries on like a pile here, but they stain things very easily. They're bright and attractive to children, which is bad because they're also poisonous unless you cook them extremely well. So they can be used as a pie, but they also have... They don't have a picture here of like what the stems look like because everyone's so focused on the pretty berries, yay! No, these fuckers are like... They're weeds. They grow really thick. They grow really fast. That stem right there is a thinner version of one of the things I cut down earlier. In the insides of the stems. I was not expecting it to look as it did. Where is it? Oh, I have Pokemon in the background. I kind of forgot. Like, this counts as anime music, doesn't it? Like, root? No. Stem inside? Like broken? How can I look this up? Aha! Okay. It didn't quite look like this. It didn't look woody. It looked hollow-ish and white and kind of sticky. It was a very, very tricky plant. Bad cooks will kill you, yes. I have heard of people making like pokeberry pies. But like, in pokeberry jam, like, but like, why would you want to do that if it's something that could kill you? Oh, okay, never mind. This is just like regular pokeberry. And like, if it's cooked that well, it's still gonna taste good, or do you just kind of smother it up with sugar? And I guess you could also make other things out of the grains and stuff. But I'd rather eat something that probably might not kill me, since I have that option. What's pokeberry root look like? Okay, yeah, the root was like really, really rough and really big, and I could not get it out on my own. I need to use something to kill the root and then hopefully be able to pull it out, which I kind of still doubt is going to happen. Or I'm gonna have to actually get a real shovel and dig in there, which I'm not looking forward to. There's another weed that is trying to strangle my hydrangeas that I have not actually been able to fully kill yet, because it's growing right by the root of the hydrangea, and I can't quite... I really need to dig in there in order to get it out. I found it wrapping itself around the hydrangea plants again. It's literally... I don't know how to describe this. It's splitting itself when it meets another stem of another plant. It splits, and then it wraps back around, so it's creating like a little noose. It's creating like a little collar and chain for other plants, so it can continue growing up. And I can also see that my fence is also going to probably be eaten eventually by my neighbor's plants. I did cut them back, but they're already trying to reach. There's a lot of plants that will reach and strangle you if you let them. It's very unfortunate. That's the way it is. I'm trying to replace some things with more native pieces, but we'll see if they can outcompete the invasive species that are already growing, if I can't properly kill them. Walking Trouble, huh? It's been a while since I've heard this. Did you guys... Are you too young to remember this CD when it... Well, obviously not when it came out, but like, is it a song that people recognize? Do you guys... I mean, like, it's not like the voices have changed very much, is it? Let's see. see. My throat is going to kill me if I keep this up for very long, so I think... Yeah, that was the last one I was going to review. The one that's all about plants. The reason why I got into plants in the first place. What's this? What is the song? Oh, okay, it's Dragon Ball, no wonder. Where should we go next? Maybe we should go to Espera? She's playing Darkwood. Let's see what that's about. Thank you very much for coming. I am going to have to see how this cough develops. I normally don't post my schedule until like Monday night or Tuesday morning anyway. I never stream on Mondays, but I'll have to see if I'm going to be able to keep this up on Tuesday, if my throat is going to be better for it. If it is, it will be another tabletop game, I expect. Thank you for the water. Ah, I'm watered. I probably shouldn't have gulped it that fast. Chin up, chin up. Okay. Yes. Oh, no. Wrong one. This one. Okay. Espera. Darkwood. Let's see what this is about. Let us see. And I thank you again for coming and watching. I hope to not have a third part to this, but it looks like there will be. Hopefully I'll be feeling better for that one. And I will see you over at Despera's.